What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in.
So it looks like more teams have expressed interest in Russell Westbrook. Three teams specifically: the Knicks, the Pacers, and the Utah Jazz. Why anybody's expressing interest in Russell Westbrook? Based upon last year, most people will probably ask why would they be expressing interest in him, knowing that he might not be playing or might not be able to play at the level that he once could. You see what I'm saying? At the point guard position, or should I say at the guard position, I should say anything. My take on it is this. Russell Westbrook is still a really good player. He still could be looked at as a great player simply because, he can make a lot of splash plays. He can, still score. I think, if he's given more opportunity. Just for the Lakers, it's more like trying to fit in, figure out how you can contribute and win at the same time. And I don't know if Russell Westbrook's IQ for basketball is high enough to figure that out. Or at least it hasn't been in 14 plus years. So we have to ask ourselves this, if we're a team that's looking to bring on a talented player that can help us win, or at least help us be better than what we were the previous year, we have to ask ourselves, is Russell Westbrook the answer? And that's what teams have to do, or that's what I think teams are doing in regards to Russell Westbrook, because everybody knows, he's a top 75 player. He's got, he's a triple-double king, you know what I'm saying? He averaged triple-double the whole season, even though I thought some of that was, fabricated a little bit, but still, nonetheless, he did do that. He did accomplish that, and it was really impressive overall because nobody else has done it that I've seen since I've been watching basketball, maybe in the 50s or something like that. I think somebody else has done it, of course, but nobody in the modern era anyway has, eclipsed that or accomplished that but Russell Westbrook, so you got to give him credit there. But at the same time, that's the past. When we talk about players updating their resume and being, in the forefront of being a player that can, what can they do for me now? You have to ask the huge question when it comes to Russell Westbrook, like, what value is he going to bring to a team now? The fact that he's a little bit older than what he was in previous years, and the fact that even when he was younger, he still couldn't help lead a team to a championship or be a part of a championship roster. So when I look at the Utah Jazz, the Knicks, and the Pacers, well, if I had to pick one of those teams that would go with Russell Westbrook to see if they can do something with them, it might be the Knicks, because the Knicks have always been a vulnerable team in regards to, picking up certain players or spending money on players that really don't pan out. I mean, you can go back from Amari Stoudemire to Carmelo Anthony, a lot of people or other players, that played for them, but in this regard, they do got Jalen Brunson there in the Knicks, and if you pair him with somebody like Russell Westbrook, maybe, that would be a decent duo. I'm not sure, but maybe that's the only reason why I can see a team like the Knicks in the fold or the possible forefront of even looking at Russell Westbrook. But then again, Russell Westbrook's contract of $47 million, $40+ million, I should say, is very heavy for any team to take a load on, simply because what they seen of him last year, based upon what he's getting paid, the differential or the ratio of that doesn't fit well with most teams. And the Knicks, if they're one of those teams that are looking at him, they have to ask themselves, you got a piece of Jalen Brunson, you got some good pieces around Jalen Brunson. If you add Russell Westbrook, can you make this team much better than what it is or what they are? You see what I'm saying? I don't know how that would work, though, because I don't know if they would have Julius Randle and a few other pieces, which I'm not a Julius Randle fan, but he is supposedly their guy. So, I don't know how that would work in regards to him. Would they get rid of him instead or sacrifice him and maybe, one other player and then have Russell on there with, maybe Jalen Brunson and R.J. Barrett, Derrick Rose? That would be a pretty good, decent team. But Of course, they probably wouldn't go far, but at the same time, I guess, maybe they feel like they can go a little further with Russell Westbrook than they could Julius Randle, and I definitely would agree with that because I'm not a Julius Randle fan at all. I don't think he's the guy. I think he's a good number 2 or number 3, definitely not number 1. Don't see it in his game. Don't see him get to that level anytime soon, but anything's possible, so I don't want to rule that out either, but I think the Knicks definitely have their sights in other areas because they're just unsure about Julius Randle being the number 1 guy too. So, like I said, if any one of these teams would look at Russell Westbrook in that fashion, it would more or less be the Knicks that would be the team that would benefit the most from Russell Westbrook. I mean, maybe you could make a case for Utah since they don't have a damn thing else there. Donovan Mitchell's pretty much out the window. Well, actually, he's the one that's, for the Knicks and everything like that. Rudy Gobert's gone. Still got Jordan Clarkson there. I don't know, just the Utah Jazz, they just don't win anyway. They're just not a winning team. They never won anything ever since I've been looking at basketball. So I've never been a believer in the Utah Jazz. But then you got the Pacers. I think Russell Westbrook would fit in good with the Pacers the most now that I think about it, because the Pacers are a low budget team and he would have ultimately 110% the green light to do whatever he chooses to do on the floor, and it wouldn't be arguable with no player on the roster currently. Now, the only problem is, are the Pacers willing to give up, Buddy Hield and maybe Miles Turner, maybe even a couple draft picks or something like that? Maybe. I don't know if the Pacers will be willing to give that much up for Russell Westbrook. Looking at the contract that Russ has, and on top of that, you're getting an older player, Russell Westbrook, who might not have the first step that he used to have. Then, at the same time, if you give away a Miles Turner or a Buddy Hield, you're sacrificing your future for a player that is a top 75 player, but it's not going to help you win anything anytime soon, just like Buddy Hield and Miles Turner and the rest of them can. So it's like, really, every situation, you could say Russell Westbrook wouldn't be a bad fit, but he's really not making the team better. The team will probably have almost the same record, or the season will end up almost the same way it did for the Pacers, the Knicks, and the Utah Jazz, the same way it did last year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe possibly make the playoffs, get eliminated in the first round, maybe make a play-in tournament, get eliminated. It's pretty much, you're pretty much gonna get the same results if you get Russell Westbrook, I think. So my point is, the teams that are so-called partitioning for Russell Westbrook, they might as well just pretty much stay put where they are or what they have, and just leave it at that. And let the Lakers suffer with Russell Westbrook, because honestly, LeBron chose him. LeBron could have got Buddy Hield when he was on Sacramento last year. He could have had Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield was there for the taking. He was there for, to be traded. And the Lakers had him right in their hands, basically. But LeBron chose to take a left, and look what he found. He didn't find gold. He found rust. You know what I'm saying? He found nothing. He found a player that doesn't help him get anything in regards to winning championships. That's what it's all about for LeBron. That's what it's all about for the Lakers, championships. So, hey, it is what it is. If I were those other teams, I'd let the Lakers suffer with him, let the Lakers go through one more season with him, then make him possibly, trade him next season or let him walk due to the fact that his contract will be, taken care of by the end of next season, and, kind of just go from there. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody would take Russell Westbrook, but I also wouldn't be surprised if nobody did. So for the simple fact that, like I said, Russ is a wild card. You see what I'm saying? Especially at this point in his career, you don't know if you're going to get that same Russ of OKC days. I think those days might be a little far gone. But like I said, really, this year right here is going to tell more or less about what Russell Westbrook's future is going to look like after this season, upcoming season with the Lakers. So if I were other teams, I would just hold off and see how Russ plays this year with the Lakers, whether he tanks and plays worse or whether he uplifts himself and plays better, and just kind of take it from there. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.